Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit now about credit generation. So it's reckoned by 2050 that the market for carbon offsets will be worth 200 billion. These are mainly covered under the voluntary scheme at the moment. So there is a need to rationalise this market. The main generator of carbon credits currently is what's known as the Clean Development Mechanism, CDM, and this is created under the auspices of Kyoto. So there's huge variance in the quality of sequestered carbon under the CDM scheme. And currently there's 4.2 billion tonnes of credits available under CDM. These tend to be historical, they tend to be cheap as well. So there's been a lot of abuses of CDM in the past. I think probably the most notable one is Sinar Mas, where it's a big corporation in Indonesia. They came along and they felled clear-felled old growth forestry, and they replaced that then with palm oil plantations, and they actually got carbon credits for the carbon sequestered by the palm oil plantations. So one of the other problems with having so many credits hanging around is that there's little motivation to generate new, more expensive, higher quality credits, and instead people can buy cheap old credits. And when you look at great initiatives like the Carbon Offset and Reduction Scheme for International Aviation, CORSIA, their projected demand for carbon to the mid-2030s amounts to around about 4.2 billion tonnes. So it wouldn't be until the mid-2030s before they'd be looking for new sequestered carbon. So this is a disaster. I mean, something will have to be done. We will have to remove historical carbon from our carbon accounting. There are also scams associated with the compliance side of the carbon market. There's one in particular where a polluter can say, okay, I'm going to increase my output next year, I'm going to double it, and consequently I'm going to double my pollution. And they can announce this as a projection. And they can then say, actually, because we want to reduce our pollution, we're not going to double our output. Instead, we're going to maintain it at current levels. And they can actually get carbon credits for this then and use that to offset their next year's production, their next year's pollution. So that's another anomalous kind of scenario that needs to be tackled.